Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, sisters embroiled in human trafficking to New Zealand. Methodist Church opens up about domestic violence. An electoral commission shoots back at political parties.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Amrita Sagar.
2 Fijian sisters have now been charged with 17 counts for their alleged involvement of trafficking 17 Fijian citizens in New Zealand in 2014. A 31-year-old woman who was arrested in Nasole Nasinu has been charged with 11 counts of obtaining property by deception and 1 count of money laundering and will be produced at the Suva Magistrates Court tomorrow. Her sister, who resides in Australia, has been charged in absentia with 5 counts of obtaining property by deception and 1 count of money laundering. An arrest warrant for her is expected to be filed in court tomorrow. Both women have been jointly charged with 17 counts of human trafficking in Auckland, New Zealand. Maggie Boyle reports.
In a statement from the police, the 2 had been operating a travel agent business from Nina Street in Suva and are alleged to have placed an advertisement in one of the dailies about employment opportunities in New Zealand. The 17 victims involved in this case were allegedly advised to provide necessary documents for New Zealand visa applications and were promised a work visa or tourist visa with work permit, with the 2 obtaining money for the visa application process. The victims were allegedly exploited in New Zealand as the suspects organised and facilitated the exit of these victims from Fiji, and in facilitating the exit was reckless as to whether the said victims would be exploited. The victims were allegedly forced into labour to work in unfavourable weather conditions for less or no pay, and when it came to accommodation, men and women would share 1 room. It is also alleged that the suspects, when notified about these conditions, took no action and instead sent more victims to New Zealand. Both suspects had remitted and received more than $83,000 to and from New Zealand from an accomplice, Faraz Ali, who was convicted in New Zealand for human trafficking offences and is now serving a jail term of 9 years and 6 months. Investigations continue. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Fijian Electoral Commission Chairperson Suresh Chandra has shot back at some political parties, saying their grandstanding and their personal attacks of the Commission will not be condoned. Chandra says that while political parties are crying wolf, they should know better than anyone that the electoral laws and subsequent changes are only made in Parliament.
Some political parties have voiced their concerns and ire against the Commission.
Or you can have a very passive Commission, like the one we have today. Who just says, well, fine, they'll just do the minimum.
We are aware that, of course, the election supervisor is going to say, oh, complaining again.
Free, fair and credible. See, as you can all see, the rule says something, but they're actually doing something else.
The Commissioner has called the utterances cheap shots.
The election is around the corner, and in 2014 they were crying that there were too many changes, too close to the election. This time, when we want to keep things consistent, they are crying that we should do last-minute changes.
However, on issues in regards to regulation changes, Chandra says the parties in question are simply grandstanding.
Laws and changes to the laws are made by the Parliament. Parties should go to Parliament. 2 of those parties have members in Parliament. They should seek accountability from them first.
6 political parties held a public forum last week to deliberate on a number of their issues. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The Methodist Church of Fiji has revealed that many of the perpetrators and victims of domestic violence are members of the church. Church Acting General Secretary Reverend Jeremiah Wangainambete says this will be one of the priority areas of discussion during the annual general meeting that begins tomorrow. Savara Tambua has more.
The Methodist Church of Fiji is working towards ensuring men and women understand their roles to achieve gender equality following the recent revelation.
It needs to be relooked at and revisited, and we refine our theological understanding to see that we are created to be equal and to respect one another, to see the dignity and the beauty of who we are as human beings rather than being dictated by our gender status.
Wanganambete says despite their wide-scale awareness of domestic violence, some members continue to disregard the church's teachings. Meanwhile, Fiji Women's Crisis Center Coordinator Shamima Ali says the center is ready to work with the church to address this issue.
They are gradually coming in, but I believe that they need to learn a lot more. There's still real space for them to really come into this. And as far as the Crisis Center is concerned, we are very willing to provide the training.
The week-long annual general meeting that will be held here at Centenary Church in Suva will help identify the church's weak areas in raising more awareness to curb this societal problem. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Residents in the West are facing a prolonged period of dry weather for close to 4 months now, and they're worried. FBC News was in Rakiraki this week and noticed burnt grass, hard and cracked soil, dry vegetation and even several bushfires. And the dry weather is expected to continue for a few more months. Akasita Tale reports this has severely affected the livelihood of many farmers in the area.
The long dry spell in the Western Division is worrying many families, especially for the Ali household, who has lived in Madhuvani settlement in Ra for more than 40 years now. Their roadside stalls are now empty as the dry weather has affected their harvest.
In all my life, I have never seen the dry season before. In the past, we used to have dry season, but it would rain sometime. But this time, it hasn't rained since April. And it's worrying because even my farm animals are affected. We don't have vegetables now because the cows eat them, as there's no more green grass on the farm.
Jan Ali says they can't plant anything as the soil has become very hard and their crops have died. Meanwhile, Shan Ali, a farmer in Saivo Ra, says he always sells vegetables on the roadside every Sunday and earns around $200. However, with the bad weather, he now earns only $40 to $50.
Also, in the dry weather, there are a lot of pests on the crops and vegetables, and I'm not able to plant anything for now. I will have to wait for the rain in order to plant again. My vegetables farm is right up the hills, and now I have to carry buckets of water up the hill to water my vegetables, and this is a lot of work.
This dry spell is expected to continue for a few more months before we enter the cyclone season around November. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
Still to come, 30 children detected with cancer annually. And from rags to riches, that's coming up in our Successful Fijian segment.
Bula, nevang gomal kay leloma, gongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Hoya ubasit sai sa Lambasa, ya untuk talita na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Gua do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Wala na tunga ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere namalun.
Nevang go fani na tao no go singa toka, kita untuk talita ka ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
30 new cases of cancer is recorded in children between the ages of 1 to 13 years annually. Whilst Kids Board member Makarava Wilson says these numbers are concerning as it continues to rise. Catherine Krishna reports.
One of the major reasons our children are dying from cancer is late detection.
We would like for parents, whenever they see their children ill, no matter what illness, but to please take the kids out to the doctors as soon as possible. It could be cancer, it could be any other illness in that regard.
Terarenima lost her 2-year-old daughter to leukemia last year after she was diagnosed at a late stage.
Please, if your kids are sick continuously, and if you take them to the hospital and they're still having the same medication, I advise you to ask the doctors just to take a little bit of blood, just to see what really is the sickness in their body, because I don't want any other children to be like my Kathy.
Chone Tikoda, who lost his 9-year-old daughter Ulamila Tikoda to brain tumor last year, is advising parents to monitor their children's health.
We should always love our children, because we don't know when they can be taken away from us, like our daughter.
According to WOW's Fiji, the most prevalent cancer found in kids are tumors and blood cancer known as leukemia. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
It was a proud moment for Miss Fiji Society for the Blind, sponsored by AutoCare, Jessica Fong, as she was crowned this year's Miss Hibiscus last night. The medicine and nursing student will represent Suva in the Miss Fiji pageant later this year to raise more awareness on non-communicable diseases. Catherine Krishna once again.
23-year-old Jessica Fong says this is just the beginning of another journey to raise more awareness on diabetes, the leading killer disease which is claiming the lives of many Fijians today.
I believe that NCDs can be tackled with behavioral changes, and if we all take the initiative to be empowered to take our health into our own hands, we most definitely can tackle this issue without a problem.
While praising the achievements of the week-long festival, Hibiscus Committee Chairperson Hitesh Prasad raised some concerns regarding the new venue, adding the committee will look into it.
We have stakeholders that we need to talk to. I don't make the decision. My committee and the stakeholders will be meeting with our custodian partners and see what happens. If this is practical, we'll have it here.
Meanwhile, Miss Sinopec Nikat Khan was crowned first runner-up, while Miss Suva City Council Simran Nand was second runner-up. For the Kings category, Mr. Trendy Fashion Manasa Navara was crowned the 2018 Vodafone Hibiscus King. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
Students that are victims of social issues need to be counselled and advised on the right direction and not to be left alone in the dark. National Substance Abuse Advisory Board Chief Executive Manoa Senikarawa has revealed this as one of their challenges. However, parents need to understand that it is their children who are facing these issues, and it is the same children who can also find the best solution to the problem. NASAC has claimed that awareness created in schools that relates to any social problem goes down well with the students. However, parents need to spend more time and discuss these issues at home.
We always try to emphasize with parents to engage with their children and talk about issues that are facing them, not only with teenage pregnancies, but for every other social issues that our young people are being, they are facing today.
A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination and hard work. These are the three values that a school dropout turned successful businessman believes is key to success. Our successful Fijian tonight is the director of Ratan Civil Contractors based in Ellington, Rakiraki. Akusita Tale reports.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Vijendra Kumar grew up in a small farming community in Ellington outside Rakiraki town, but never thought he would operate and own a civil contractor's business one day. He dropped out from Ellington Primary School in Class 6 and spent the rest of his school years on the cane field plowing the land.
My parents, they teach me, just give me a cane knife and the horse to plow the field. Then I started from there. Then I work hard and harder. Then I changed how to plow.
His success story began with only a horse, which helped him plow the land to earn some money, which enabled him to buy a bullock before purchasing his first tractor as he humbly built his empire.
Cut 5 years harvesting cane. My father gave me a knife when I was about 13 years old. Then I started harvesting cane.
The father of three says he's never regretted leaving school to work on the farm, as it taught him to sweat, persevere and think outside the box.
Pulling cane about 25 to 30 years, one Bedford truck, and just changing. And bought in 1996, I one excavator, Kato machine. After that, I bring another one, and now I got plenty machine.
He now owns more than 100 trucks and machineries, including high cranes, diggers, dozers, and even a stone crusher to crush metals worth $1 million.
I got the dealer's license and I bought the truck from China some New Zealand, some Singapore, all country. 2 weeks I was in China.
However, he is disappointed nowadays that many people look down on farmers and wait for the government's assistance when there is land to earn money from.
Nobody want to hard work, just easy money. Everybody looking for easy money. Very hard, you know. Not responsibility, not anything. You say anything else, they're doing anything else. That's the problem.
The 65-year-old businessman has handed over the reins to his son, who now sees the overall operation of the family business. They also have a base at Tavua as they are the main contractors for the Vatukola gold mine, as well as other civil projects around the country. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Up ahead in sports, Fiji Airways Drua expects tough competition. And men's volleyball wins gold at Oceania. Details after the break.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singapore.
Gold FM, only the classic.
After settling for third place in last year's Australian National Rugby Championship, the Fiji Airways Drua knows the competition won't be easy second time round. The Druas were outclassed by eventual winners Queensland Country in their last semi-final and are gearing up for their match against the Melbourne Rising side next month. Coach Senirusi Seruvakula hopes for a good start for their home game. The Drua will take on the Melbourne Rising in their first game on the 1st of next month at Ratana Kambal Park in Nosuri at 3 p.m.
It's going to be tougher than last year. It's our first year, and a lot of the Australian team, they did not know how we're going to play, but this year they will become ready, and then for us is to live to another next level. It's going to be tougher than next year, and we just have to be very focused into what we do in our first game, and hopefully we have a good start for our home games.
The Fiji men's volleyball team has won gold in the Oceania Volleyball Championship match after beating New Zealand 3-1 in Noumea, New Caledonia. This is the first for Fiji to beat New Zealand in the Oceania Games. New Zealand did lead the first set 25-16, but our Fiji men's team made a strong comeback and won the second, third and fourth set to claim the men's Oceania Volleyball Championship title. Fiji scored 25-23 in the second set, 25-11 in the third set, and finally secured a 25-20 in the fourth set. The women's team also did not go empty-handed. They settled for silver after being beaten by New Zealand 3-1. This year's Fiji Sports Hall of Fame Awards night will be held on the 13th of October. This was confirmed by FESANOC's Chief Executive Lorraine Ma. Ma says the committee has already put out the call for nominations. The Fiji Sports Hall of Fame is a category for athletes, while the Fiji Olympic Order is for people who work behind the athletes to get them to achieve their goals. The event will be held at the Grand Pacific Hotel.
The Fiji Sports Hall of Fame recognizes athlete performance, and the Fiji Olympic Order recognizes contribution to sport by sports administrators, coaches, technical officials, anybody like that.
Sneha Singh is a good example of someone who didn't let their disability get in the way of their athletic profession and love for table tennis. The 11-year-old student was part of the Rising Star School Holiday and Talent Identification hosted by Fiji Table Tennis Association at the National Gymnasium held in Suva yesterday. Stella Tawe reports this program is an opportunity for selectors to scout young prospects.
The 11-year-old student of Hilton Special School was born with limb defects and uses her hands to walk. She has praised the program as it has given her an opportunity to show her talents.
I was selected in
Our head teacher asked my mother if I would say yes to play in table tennis, and I said yes. That's how I got in here.
Her mother believes that such sporting activity will help her well-being and give her confidence to step out of her comfort zone.
She enjoyed, and she has become very confident. She had made a lot of friends. She was given a good trainer and backup, and she's really happy, so I'm happy for her.
The Rising Star and Talent Identification School Holiday Program ended today with around 100 students. Stella Taoi, FBC Sports.
The Fiji women's hockey team came out successful in winning the gold medal playoffs after defeating host Vanuatu 3-2 at the 2018 FIH World Series Round 1 in Port Vila yesterday. Fiji started the game comfortably with Tiara Datta scoring a goal in the 4th minute. Soon after the restart, Augustita Andingwanetha scored a goal for Fiji to take a 2-0 lead, and scores remained for the next 13 minutes before Tyler Ayuk scored another goal to give Fiji a 3-0 lead. At the 22-minute mark, Vanuatu scored their 2 goals, but Fiji was able to hold on to their lead until the final whistle. Meanwhile, the Fiji men's team won silver after they lost to Vanuatu 6-4, while Team Solomon beat Tonga 4-0 to win the bronze medal. Now, the All Blacks have once again put the Wallabies to the sword to draw first blood in the 2018 Bledisloe Cup Series with a crushing 38-13 victory at the ANZ Stadium in Sydney last night. 5 All Blacks second-half tries stunned the Wallabies, who now face the daunting prospect of needing to win in Auckland next Saturday for the first time since 1986 to prevent the trophy staying in New Zealand for the 16th straight year. The Dragons have remarkably re-entered the top 4 of the NRL ladder to keep their premiership dream alive with a 20-10 victory over West Tigers last night. The interior and eastern parts of the larger islands experienced mostly cloudy conditions with light showers. The weather was fine elsewhere. Onto the west, they had a great outdoor day to spend with families and friends as the temperatures were reaching the 30s. As for Pacific Harbour to Suva, it was a dull day with cloudy and cool conditions. The northerners experienced some sun but did get slight drizzles in the afternoon. Now at sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots and moderate to rough seas. For the tides, high tide is at 11:15 a.m. and low tide at 5:26 p.m. Sunrise will be at 6:27. For tomorrow, suggest you keep those umbrellas or coats handy. Cloudy conditions are expected for the entire country, but seems Lautoka and Ba will be spared. Now you can expect the cloudy conditions to clear up come Tuesday, so look forward to the fine weather. Recapping the main stories, sisters embroiled in human trafficking to New Zealand. Methodist Church opens up about domestic violence. An electoral commission shoots back at political parties. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we are asking, is race-based campaigning becoming a concern for Fijians? Visit our FBC website to answer. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. Until next time, good night.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.